bottom left, it is the blue Zerg player playing for Team Liquid. It's Snute. And in the top right, we've got his opponent hailing from Korea and 10 pooling. It is Hyun.
Mind games! This is actually brilliant. Snute joking in the lobby chat, guys. You didn't get to see it on screen. But we were joking about TSL Hyun Sheer Beach. All those bailing busts against Protosses on Belshire. Oh, how I miss those days. And then Snute went, haha, I'm gonna 10 pool you on the first map. Well, guess what, guys? Sup? Hyun is beating Snute too. What a fantastic way to start off this best of 9.
He might even do it with Banelings. This might be the entire old strategy. He does have an extractor about to finish up, so in theory it could be like an extremely all-in Baneling play, but it could be Speedlings at the same time. Snute, luckily for Snute, he has opened up with a spawning pool first and hasn't gone hatch first. That's good for him. He's got 6 lings on the way, Hyun, right now. But if he would have gone for hatch first, oh man, that would have been difficult. Right now, he does have a chance to defend, and actually, he should be able to. Should be a really pretty comfortable defense.
That's right. For those of you who might not watch this that often, of course, or maybe it's your first time tuning into StarCraft, this wow, okay, going to the Baneling as well as Hyun. In a ZVZ, the best case scenario always is to do exactly the same thing your opponent's doing, but just a little bit later. So the time that they spend walking across the map to get to you, you've basically spent getting a couple of extra workers out. And that means that in an even fight, you're just going to have a better economy behind you, and you end up winning the longer game. That's what is a traditional ZVZ. In this particular case, Snute put his spawning pool down after Hyun. I believe it was a 14 pool, Lillian, correct me if I'm wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And theoretically, he should be able to defend against this, but Hyun's Microman is pretty godly.
It is pretty good. Is Snute actually going to try to let this hatch finish up? That's never going to work. I think Snute is just buying time right now for his Spinecrawler. And actually, he's going to pull drones to try to finish this hatch up, but there's Banelings on the way! He sees the Banelings now, and he realizes his mistake. He cannot defend against this. He has to go to main base. Oh my god, what is he doing? What a game.
Drones are there in the main. Actually, the main's the wrong decision because of the Spinecrawler there as well. Is he actually going to get the kills on it? The Baneling's trying to go in. The Spinecrawler actually picking one of them off. The second one desperately trying to hold on. And maximum damage done there. 5 workers killed by those 2 Banelings. And now Ling on Ling action. Both players at 17 supply. But Hyun ahead. 13 workers to 10. He was not streaming Zerglings across the map. He had drones coming out behind that. And now he has a queen and a slightly higher drone count.
He has a queen, he has a slightly higher drone cap, he doesn't have an additional hatchery, so all in all, I don't think we're going to see someone be super far ahead or super far behind from this attack, but Snute, he's coming in with the counter, and Hyun has been droning up a little bit. He is, of course, up by 3 workers now, so that means Snute has a lot more Zerglings than his opponent, but Hyun has the queen to fall back on. Does have a bit of a wall off there, keeping his queen in between, going to make sure that the queen does not get surrounded, because the queen is pivotal to his defense.
Yeah, he needs to be very, very careful here as Snute moves up into the base of Hyun. Hyun currently on 23 supply to 22. The work supply is still slightly ahead from 13 to 11, but he has those Banelings to help him defend. One goes off, kills a bunch of Zerglings. That should just about be enough to defend him. Most of Snute's mining is going in the natural. The Spike needs to move down there. Okay, good. He's moving that down now. And that's important because when Hyun gets there, if that Spinecrawler was still inside the main base, then I really fear for the life of Snute.
And Snute is in some trouble right now, might have overdroned, although he has a Spinecrawler. You have to keep that in mind. Snute might be able to defend using the Spine. There's only a single Baneling in there. Speed is about to finish though for Hyun. That's going to give him a pretty big advantage. 2 additional Queens coming out for Liquid. Snute, he is really putting a lot of money into his defense right now. Queens, of course, going to be useful in the late game too for injects and creep spreading, so he has got a lot of use for those. The Spine is going to help out so much. Hopefully Snute will focus the Spine on the Banelings. That's going to be...
He's going to have 2 Banelings either side of the hatch. Either side of the hatch. Yes, that's exactly what he's doing. He's trapping those drones. One of them goes off. The second one is so close. Oh my god, so many drones on red health. A couple of them going down. But actually, that was... Considering the 2 Banelings went off on the drones, that's as good as it could get for Snute there. Because those... Basically, different drones absorbed each Baneling hit. So there were a whole bunch of drones on red health, but not actually that many that died. And, I mean, some still died, and Hyun is still ahead in the work account, but that could have wiped Snute down to something like 3 drones. And the fact that he still has over 10 is pretty amazing.
Yeah, 13 workers killed by Hyun in that attack. That's pretty impressive. And he's following it up with a hatchery right now. It's going to be expanding right behind this. So Hyun finally did the damage that he wanted to. The first attack, I don't think he was quite happy with that. I think Snute really defended the first attack well, but he kind of overextended with his counterattack. He got caught by a Baneling, lost 6 to 8 links to a single Baneling, and then all of a sudden he was open to a counterattack. And Snute had a lot of his workers at his natural, which is a questionable decision if you ask me.
Yeah, I think the workers were at the natural while the spine crawler was in the main as well, and it was a bit like, uh-oh, you need to be careful that you really want to shield your workers as much as possible, especially since Snute had 2 queens blocking the ramp, so it would have made sense for the workers to be in the main, and that allowed Hyun to do that really, really nice Baneling play. Great pick off there, another drone going down to these lings that are running by, now going to be heading into the main. He's going to want to be scouting for gas, wants to see if Snute's actually going for that just yet, sees that nothing is forthcoming, so he's going to feel really similar confident. He'll have Zergling speed, of course. He's got the Baneling nest down as well. Hyun should know at this point that there's not too much Snute can do in the next minute or two to harass him, and he can afford to macro up non-stop.
That's that's good. These Zerglings for Hyun being really valuable right now. They have speed, so they should be able to stay alive for a long time unless they get caught on creep. Have to be careful. The extractor is about to finish up, so Hyun has seen that a gas has been taken. And Josar, we didn't really get to talk about what we were expecting for this matchup, but what I was expecting was everything but this. I was expecting long macro games and a lot of mutas.
Well, here's what I'm going to suggest here. If we see a third and fourth, I'm surprised we don't see a second, third, and fourth gas being taken by Hyun right now, because he's got gas a lot earlier. He's actually going for the double evolution chambers. He's going to be playing the long game here, because I thought, okay, immediate transition into a lot of Mutalisk, since he knew that Snute didn't get any gas early, should be able to put a lot more pressure on, if not win him the game. But it looks like that's actually not the option he's going for here.
Now, his drone count was a little bit too low to be able to go into 4 gas mining just yet. He's now up to 41. He's approaching the mark when he can start throwing those gases down, and he's doing that. He's getting 2 gases additional to the one he already has, so it's going to be going up to 3 gases. We'll be able to start his upgrades. There we go, and we actually see Zerg missile attacks coming out. So I don't think we're going to be getting ready to go into mutas at all here. This is going to be a roach-based army composition for Hyun.
Oh, and he's actually making 12 lings as well, which is interesting to note. So whether these are for initial harassment with the roaches to follow, or whether he's reacting to something he saw in Snute's base, which I don't actually think is the case. So this could just be roaches and lings popping, and he's actually making a massive round of drones behind this. Another 10 with injects already going down at the third hatch. The current worker supply, guys, is 57 to 52 in Snute's favor, who has been ecoing it up like an absolute madman right now. But the army supply is actually dead even. So Snute recovering from that early game setup really quite well. The only thing Hyun has going for him right now are those upgrades. He's a bit more tech, but as for what's out on the field, Snute's actually doing quite well.
Yeah, he is doing well, but the delayed gas mining is really what's keeping him behind right now. He's got a good drone count, he's got a good amount of bases, he's got good saturation, but he doesn't have the upgrades. He doesn't have a lair yet. Yes. There goes the lairs, just now getting started, but it's so far behind. By the time Liquid Snute can start his upgrading, Quantic Hyun's is already going to be up to 1-1.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. So using those upgrades in his favor would be fantastic here. A little bit of poking and prodding going on at the third. Hyun going to have to move away. And both sides similar supply, but now Hyun is turning on the aggression with 13 roaches, glial reconstitution, and 1-1. This is going to hurt.
This is going to do more than just hurt. I think we might see Snute die to this. I mean, what does he have? Does he even have a Roach Warren? I don't think he does. I think he's going into Mutalisk play, and Hyun has, of course, recognized that. He has been able to see 6 gases, so he knows it's going to be Muta play. You would never get 6 gases that early on if you don't go into Muta play. So he knows the Spire is going to be coming up, and these Roaches are going to be hitting well before the Spire is out. I think we're just going to see him die here.
It's entirely possible, Lillian. The Roach is now marching across the map. Oh, very nice. Contaminate on the hatchery as well, trying to stop it from getting more larvae out. And they're not going for 2 by 2, but it is still going to be a hurrah here for Hyun as he marches straight into the natural, not even going for the third. There are no mutas anywhere in sight. Banelings coming in with this army as well. And, oh, Snute is so far away. 16 roaches being made now, but look at this. Again, both sides of the hatchery, the baneling's gonna absolutely corner the workers, and oh my god, explosions.
Oh my god, 34 workers killed now, and by the time the roaches get out on the field, the damage will be done. Here they come popping out, but there's only a few of them popping out, and they won't be able to do that much. Another baneling detonation on the drones here. More drones going to be falling in just a second. Snute's going to be forced to GG out. Hyun did too much damage with that follow-up baneling.